On tonight's episode of Very Cavallari, the girls head to Palm Springs and Uncommon James gets a little messy. We're talking about that right now on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? Hi, everyone. Now, to our fans out there, some of our faces might be a little bit fresh, but welcome. We are the Very Cavallari panel. I am your host, Caroline Thayer, and I have a lovely panel of ladies. Let's start down at the end. Who do we got?
Hi, guys. I'm Justine.
Hey, I'm Angel.
And hello, everyone. I'm Regina.
Woo! This is Regina's first show, so everyone make sure you give her some love.
All right.
Welcome.
We are so
Thank
excited,
you.
though, to be talking about episode 2 of season 2 of Very Cavallari. Shake your pom-poms. Palm spelled like the palm tree because the girls go to Palm Springs. Really getting creative with these titles. I want to talk about what our initial thoughts were to this episode. Angel, you were here last week, so coming off of last week to this week, what did you think of this episode?
I thought this episode was a little bit juicier than last week, and it also, I can understand why the girls were on edge because last week Shannon got let go, and they had some difficulties at Uncommon James, so.
Yeah. Justine, I know that you're a huge Kristin Cavallari fan from the Hills. So
Of course.
what was your thought on this episode?
I mean, I feel like she's the same as she's been back then. She's super outspoken, bold, and I think she did a really good job, and she proved that she cares about her company.
Yeah. Regina?
Well, this is my, being the newbie here, this is my first time watching the show. I'm going to be honest. However, I have watched her husband a lot on the football field.
Oh!
But I have to say, this is an exciting show. And this girl leads a very exciting life, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Never a dull
Right.
moment.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. One of the things we're going to talk about tonight, and we'll just get into it now, is how Kristin Cavallari is the boss lady of this company, and even though she has lots of employees, it seems like she's always doing something.
Yeah.
So her and her squad of like actual friends, not her employees, went to Palm Springs for a photo shoot for Uncommon James. She left Jay behind and was like, bye, see you later.
Girls trip.
Girls trip.
Sort of.
Yes, kind of.
That was a guy.
There were a few men who showed up. But it was funny because at one point, Kristin, for those of you who watched Laguna Beach, where she originally came from, and then The Hills, Kristin and her best friend Kelly had a reference to Stephen Coletti, and we have a picture of Stephen and Kristin, and it's so funny because she's like, oh my god, I'm from Laguna Beach, Stephen! And if you obviously watch the show, then you know that Stephen is her ex-boyfriend, who she had a lot of drama with. Anyways, I digress. He wasn't there, but Kelly was. What did you guys think of the fact that Kristin wants to hire her friends for her photo shoot? Do you think it's bad to mix business with pleasure?
Sometimes. But I think but sometimes I feel like give it a try. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And clearly, I mean, this time it worked. So
Yeah, and this time it wasn't like at Uncommon James where they're actually running a business. It's like we show up, we play by the pool, we have drinks. Why not let your friends get some money doing it?
And I think it's great to do because with the type of lifestyle that she leads, it's always great to have people around you in your inner circle that you trust.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it sounds like the people that were in her inner circle, like Stephanie, who they call Biggs, has been around for forever. Kelly has been around for forever. And then they have Pip, of course. They had that amazing hairstylist. I think his name was Justin Anderson. Justine, maybe like you might hit him up one day. I know he's for the blondes, and we all have brunette hair.
And plus, I do hair too, so he's someone that like I look up to. Yeah, I do makeup and hair, so he's someone that I was looking at his work, and I'm like,
oh my God,
Justin and Justine. Start a business. And then we can work. Like, we can be the models. We can go to the pool.
Okay.
he'll do the hair, I'll do the makeup.
I'll do the drinks.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll just like,
hey.
I'll just tan.
Just
it's
come.
fine.
Just come.
I'll just stay by the bar. What the heck?
We all have a role here. I think I agree with you, Justine, though. It's good to have friends kind of in like a trial period. And I think at one point Kristin even said, I really want Biggs to be my VP.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I'm a little bit hesitant. Putting your friend in such a superior role,
Yeah.
do you think that that would ever cause conflict? Do we think that that's maybe a direction she's going to go in?
I don't know, but could you imagine if they stopped being friends, like all the secrets and all the information she would have?
Oh my God.
It could be a
hope not.
nightmare.
It would cause conflict because, I don't care how good a friend you are. It's the business element.
It's true.
And you should always say business before pleasure, and you're going to disagree on a lot of different things. So I would say there's so much talent out in the world. If she really looks up to her and her advice, have her pick her next VP.
I mean,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think kind of going back to whether or not it'll work or not, look at the Kardashians. They're thriving and they are all family and they work together, but they also do have other people that aren't in the family. I think that everyone has their different roles. Like they work together on different things, and when it comes to higher up, I mean, we know Chris is, but I just think you just have to figure out what works for you and your company.
That's a really good comparison. They're both on E, so maybe there's some like future mixing in the works. I don't know.
Chris
Yeah,
I was just going to say give Chris a 10%.
Yeah, literally,
Kristen,
give Chris a call and get that 10%.
Chris is going to run Uncommon James.
Oh man, well clearly that's a
Hire her
great
as a consultant.
Literally, I don't know about you guys, but somebody needs to be doing something at Uncommon
They
James.
have some stuff
And
going
before
on.
we get to that, I know that we want to give a really big shout out to our amazing fans. So, Justine, I know you have something to tell them.
Take it
Yes,
away.
guys. So before we move on to our next topic, we just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And for us to continue to grow, we could use your help, all the help that we can get. If you are on YouTube right now, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying all of our shows because we got a lot here.
Is anyone else on any other shows or doing red carpets? Tell us where like our fans are great because they want to interact with us and we want to interact with you. So can we see you guys anywhere else?
Oh my gosh, I'm starting on my absolute favorite show, Billions.
Oh my gosh.
St. Patrick's Day, green for money,
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Well,
I like that.
Definitely everybody tune in. It's going to be exciting. We're going to see what Chuck and Bobby and the gang are up to.
Never seen it.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Don't know anything about
Angel,
it.
do you have something to
exciting.
share?
Well, I just wrapped up The Real Housewives of New Jersey last week. We did the last reunion show, so that was a ton of fun. I'm excited to be on this one. So this is my second show. I'm still a newbie, but I'm excited.
And I'm from Jersey, so I can appreciate the Real Housewives of New Jersey. They're probably a little crazy.
Yeah.
Right now, this is my main show. I do red carpets for AfterBuzz, but right now, my focus is right here on Miss Kristin.
Well, like I said before, Uncommon James, the brand, needs a lot of help because they are having some serious issues. Now, Brittany, who is the head of operations of Uncommon James, posed an excellent question. How can you have a box sent out and not know that there is nothing inside the box?
I didn't like her example. Well, I mean, I get it, but her example was it takes 20 seconds to look
Oh, that was
inside.
shady.
But it's like, also when you pick it up, you can tell like it's
Yeah.
empty because it's not heavy. Like, you know what an empty box feels like.
I mean, I feel like I could understand if that happened, a couple times because I could say you're packaging and then you're like not thinking and you just do it really fast. But for that to be happening like constantly, I don't know.
Yeah, I just think they don't have a good system of how they're packaging things because somebody should be checking every package once that person closes the lid before they seal it and
Yeah.
ship it. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, if you remember from last week's episode, Jay came in and was like, what is going on here? Your system does not seem like it's operating. And he said that in the first season as well. He's like, there's no linear direction that packaging or shipping or really anything is going in. And so Brittany obviously has to manage customer service and shipping. Now, here's what I want to know. Who do you think is at fault for all of these problems because not only are the boxes going out empty, there's missing jewelry, there's broken jewelry, and that is not a good reflection on anyone.
It might be, and her name is coming as a blank, but the one who had to speak to her about everything at the end. Not
is that
Kelly.
Colby?
No. It's not Kelly. It's
No,
not
Colby.
It's not Colby?
Okay.
It was
Colby?
the girl who talked to her was Colby.
At the end?
Um,
At the photo shoot?
that was Kristin.
Kristin. Okay, Kristin. I feel
Kristin
like
and
Kristin Cavallari and
no.
Brittany. We're talking
Brittany.
At the
So
end.
Brittany
Yeah.
is the other
Yeah,
one.
she's the operations manager.
Yeah, I feel like as an operations manager, it falls on her because, like she said, this has been going on for weeks and she didn't know. You kind of have to check in on all of your departments and say, hey, what's going on? You have to have like these weekly meetings. I mean, you have to be in a loop.
Well, the thing though that got me is that there are two shipping managers. They're co-heads. And so they aren't working together for checks and balances to make sure, hey, I've got your back, you got mine. We're, making sure everything is running smoothly.
I think the company's just growing too fast, which is good. It's kind of good because her people want to buy, they want to shop with her. But when it's growing too fast and you don't have time to train people or like figure out what you're doing,
it's all about training. It's all about training and making sure that she make sure that everybody is doing their job. And then she was kind of talking about the training process and she's like, this is what you have to do, but it has to be done and she needs to make sure that they do it. She's like, have you done it? And they're like, well, not yet. It's like, how do you not know that they haven't done it? Like, it just...
I agree with you. I think
needs
that
an assistant.
Exactly. I think Brittany is way over her head, and I don't like how Brittany prefaced her little camera or like when she was talking to the camera, saying, "Look, I hate to place blame on someone," and then she goes and blames people. I think you're not doing your job and you are not allocating your time wisely. If you don't know what, like you said, Angel, if you don't know what's going on with your employees, then there's some miscommunication on your end, I think, because it's not their responsibility to come to you and and ask, how do I learn? Like, you need to be telling them exactly
Well, they
what to
already
do.
should have a really sound system in place.
she didn't even know. I forgot her name again, Brittany. She didn't even know that they hadn't had training. So it's
that's what I'm
So
saying.
there you go.
I think it
It's
all
training.
starts at the top and then it works its way to the bottom. And then you just have to figure that out. Brittany needs to figure that out. And then from there, see how it always goes to management.
Yeah.
So see how that works and then take it from there once she really steps up.
And they
She's
really
not gonna
need to solve it.
She seems like someone that's not going to take, like, she's not okay with hearing the truth. Like, she wants to put blame on everybody else.
Yeah.
And not accept what her responsibility is
Yeah.
as far as being their supervisor.
Yeah, I
So-
think it's hard being a supervisor, though, and just to play devil's advocate, and then when your employees are not receptive to feedback or to constructive criticism or direction in general, because you can only tell them to do something so much. I think Kristin at the end of the episode had a good point. Like, if you're sending out 3 packages a week that are empty, I don't really want you dealing with my shipping department. We can
And
say goodbye, because
that-
there are plenty of people in this world who can package a box.
And that right there is why you shouldn't mix business and pleasure, because if that's your friend doing something like that, it's like, friend,
Yeah.
you're ruining my business
And then
and now I
she
have a problem.
Needs to think about, if the company is growing that quickly, maybe hire a shipping company on the outsource it. And get a company that really is professional and they know what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, the buck stops with her. Because it's all it takes is one tweet or Instagram or social media negative post.
Right.
Oh God, don't get anything from them. I had a,
Yeah,
empty
and
box.
even
That's what Brittany
Brittany
said
was
that-
saying that.
Yeah.
Do you think that she was right, Brittany was right to say, we are not working for ourselves. We're working for an entity, a brand. We are working for Kristin Cavallari.
100%.
Because at the end of the day, when those people are sending those angry tweets, they're not coming for Brittany, operations manager on Instagram. That's
Really? Because I feel like because there's a show, these people
Well-
have also become characters. And so if they have a problem, they're not just going to bombard Kristin. They'll probably bombard Brittany, Colby, Matt.
But it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be an E! News story if they come after Brittany from Operations.
And I feel like I'm bringing the Kardashians into everything, but think about with Kylie's line. There was, and Kim's, but Kylie, there was a lot of controversy that there was one of the lipsticks, they were duplicating it off of a smaller line, not smaller, but ColourPop. I don't know if you ever heard of them. And so everyone was coming for Kylie when she wasn't the one packaging it. I mean, this is just like a whole other thing when things were coming in wrong. It's just the Kardashians are all over the place,
Well,
but it's not.
They straightened it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kylie's
there's
a billionaire now. Did you hear?
Doesn't matter though.
youngest.
When stuff was going wrong, people were like, "Oh, Kylie's brand,
Yeah.
Kylie's brand,
Yeah.
Kylie's brand."
They're
So
not
it's
going
called
after
Kylie
Operations.
Cosmetics. I just think that while they do need to be aware of who they're working for, they need to handle their inner operations amongst themselves better.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys notice that Reagan wasn't in this episode? Amber, I know that you're more... Oh my God, Angel. I just called you Amber.
It's okay.
I'm so
We're
sorry.
It's our first time on a panel.
I know, but you can't do that, Caroline. It's just bad.
I'm horrible at names, so don't feel bad about it.
That's just embarrassing. Okay, well,
That's
moving
okay.
on.
At
Angel.
least you didn't ship an empty box.
Yeah,
to anybody.
It
exactly.
could be worse.
Thank
it could
you.
be way worse.
No, you can call me Carol. It's fine. Okay, so Angel,
Yeah.
I know that you're like obviously more familiar with the show than Justine and Regina.
Yeah.
Did you notice that she wasn't in the episode?
Maybe they're just trying to give other people camera time or something. Because I feel like she was on last time and she had some significant.
She had a lot of
talking.
airtime
Yeah.
last week, and also she was obviously on season 1.
Yeah.
What I thought was weird is they specifically went back and showed all the times that Colby was in the TV show last season.
Yeah.
Just in the background. She didn't have any, I guess, voice or like lines. But I thought it was interesting. Reagan was not shown, which is a great segue into Life at Uncommon James without Shannon Ford, the fiery redhead who was fired last week. And basically, she was such an important part of Uncommon James. And I want to know your guys' opinion if you think she became too big for the show and was almost a threat to Kristin.
Well, a little back information.
Mm-hmm.
So who is she?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know who Shannon is, Shannon was fired on last week's episode, so that's why Brittany was like, yo, no one is safe. Shannon was just fired. Kristin is cleaning house. Shannon was the social media director, and she, you know, played a really big role in season 1, so she obviously, when she left, there's a vacancy there that is profound. So I want to know, do you think that Shannon leaving is contributing to all this hubbub at Uncommon James?
To answer the first question about do I think that she's getting too big and is a threat to Kristin, I definitely feel like she is getting bigger in popularity, but I didn't sense that Kristin thought that she was a threat and that's why she got let go. I think that Shannon just really was slacking and wasn't doing her job, but I think it's because she did get bigger and she was so focused on her own social media and her own self that she stopped caring about Kristin's brand.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you're, you know, we live in an age of social media where your brand is also your social media page.
Yeah.
So when you're running an actual organization's brand like Uncommon James and then you're also trying to manage your own brand, obviously there's conflict there. But I think that if you lose somebody who has an intricate role in the company, that's obviously going to lead to problems within the company. I mean, obviously everyone was on edge. You could sense that, right?
Well, maybe if if Shannon had been doing her job checking social media, they would have known about these comments and these empty shipments a long time ago.
Yeah. See, it all goes together. And that's dreamwork makes the teamwork.
Teamwork,
Yeah,
yeah.
teamwork makes the dreamwork.
No, teamwork makes the teamwork.
No,
Teamwork makes Okay.
So if they all communicated as a team, then the
they would know.
dream would be,
profit.
what is it called? Executed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
so.
that was a really great explanation. I think that Shannon, I think that Shannon leaving, like I said, anyone who has a very prominent role in a company leaving would cause turmoil.
Especially a small company.
Yeah, but what we're seeing is that the reason why I brought up Reagan and how that translates is that Reagan actually told Kristin last week, you know, I'm actually good friends with Shannon.
Yeah.
And so maybe Reagan's getting less airtime because she's friends with Shannon. I don't know. I am not.
That would suck.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be?
But I wonder why they would do that to her. Like, why? Who cares that she's friends
People
with her?
are cutthroat.
I
Well,
guess.
it's all about the edit, and that really is a great transition into the news and gossip I have for you guys. I am so excited for this juicy info. Okay, so here's the situation. There is a Instagram story that I need to show you guys. It is from Miss Shannon Ford.
Oh,
and
no!
It is a screen grab of another Instagram account called Laguna Biatch, which is really funny. They basically do a recap. Live.
That's a good name,
Yeah,
not gonna
it's
lie.
very funny. Laguna Biatch. Anyways, Shannon reposted the picture, which said, "Take a shot every time someone reminds us Shannon was fired," which is super funny. Anyways, Shannon wrote her own caption and said, "Also, I love you guys for all the DMs and comments. Last week's episode is the only time I appeared this season. Love you all for keeping up with me and shit. I'll keep it weird here on Instagram if you want to follow along." Okay. That's exactly what she said. Thank you so much. I didn't even. Okay. Anyways, so that was her Instagram story.
Yeah.
Holy shade.
I find that very interesting that she said it's her only time appearing, because literally last week when Brittany and I were doing our predictions, I felt like Shannon was going to come back and like...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So more on this is that if you guys have been watching her Instagram stories, and I'm solely doing that because I am fascinated with Shannon, she was trolling the show when it first premiered last weekend on Sunday, and the day after, and the day before. So she clearly has bad blood. And if you read her comments, a lot of them allude to the fact that she thinks Kristin got threatened by her because she was the show.
Yeah,
So-
that's interesting, because usually on reality TV, people get fired, but then just for ratings, they'll come back.
back.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be a situation like that.
Well, maybe that means if she doesn't come back, that
As an
means that it's like
employee.
really real. That is,
yeah.
you know, a lot of times shows, they obviously up the drama because what would we be watching? Them just hanging out. So, I mean, I guess it was really real.
It's a long season. So
Yeah,
we'll
it is
see.
a long season. We'll see.
Yeah.
Another really interesting piece of news. I don't know if you guys heard this in last week's teaser for the entire season, but Kristin and Jay were going through some marriage problems. Yeah, so that was not good. But Kristin posted this Instagram last night saying that Jay loves Sunday nights now. They look very cute together. I personally
cute
love a
pic.
couple pic. They're so cute together. I ship this couple. I can't believe I just said that. I'm a millennial. Wow. But you guys like Kristin and Jay together?
Yeah.
I know you said you like Jay from the football.
Yeah, but you know
From
what?
the football.
I can understand that Jay is going through withdrawals, not playing football right now. Well, I don't know how many years he's been in the NFL.
Many.
Sundays, you know.
Probably
Man.
over a decade.
Yeah. And so Sundays was a big day for him, that whole thing. So I don't know if he's going back into playing or not. But
Well, I think it's good that Kristin addressed the fact that they're changing roles. And, you know,
That's what I was just going to bring up.
okay, talk more about it.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that it is funny that they're changing roles and how he's kind of not the housewife, but
He called himself the housewife.
I guess if that's really what you want to say. I mean, I know some guys get offended by that, but really though, she's always says like she can't imagine not working. And I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that that's weird? Some people are like, no, very traditional. Guy has to work, girl has to stay home with the kids. Like, what are you thinking of that?
I think whatever floats your boat, like, personally, if I just sat home all day, every day, I would be bored out of my mind. But I mean, she also has enough money where she can go to Mexico over and over again. Like she said they do, but
I don't know. I don't think that's him.
What I think is interesting.
You know?
Oh,
he's a jock. I don't think he's gonna play the daddy, stay-at-home dad.
well, it seems like he's doing it pretty well
plays
because
with the
he's got
chickens.
the chickens.
Yeah.
What I think is really interesting is
phone
that
rings,
Very
he can go off.
Cavallari also is a really good way to showcase that women are both powerful and parents.
Yep.
And so Pip, who we know as Kristin's really good friend, who is also her director for all the Uncommon James shoots, just had her babies via surrogate. And here's a really cute picture she posted a little while ago of the baby. So on the show, she was saying that she was pregnant with a boy, and her surrogate was pregnant with a boy and a girl. She named these two Hunter and Andy. Really cute. I love twins.
Adorable.
I love a boy and girl twin situation. They're going to be best friends for life, looking out for each other.
I love the fact that she got her boy and her girl, because she had mentioned that she was trying for like 5 years to have kids.
Yeah.
So it's like now you have one of each.
And actually, these were her rainbow babies. She actually
yeah.
had, unfortunately, they had a miscarriage only really like a year before. So this was a really nice kind of moment for them, and I'm really glad that they've shown a powerful woman like her and Kelly and Stephanie Beagle. Again, they call her Beegs. All are really successful, strong women, but also they're vulnerable and talk about how it's hard to balance family and personal life and their jobs. So I'm just gonna make things fun. Out of all those boss women, who is your favorite on the show right now?
I think I still stand with Kristin.
Okay.
She's the main girl. I just grew up watching her. I still feel like I have that connection with her.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think that Kristin is fun too. Kelly, I'm almost like, seems like I'm feeling sorry for her a little bit, because they keep talking about her being single as if it's this horrible thing.
I'm single.
Like, right, like being single can be fun. Like every episode, it's like, oh, you still don't have somebody.
But I think it's when you're starting to get older and she's around the age where,
She
because
wants
like how I know
kids
I
and-
am, like I'm 28, so I feel like I'm getting to the age, like everyone I go onto Facebook, everyone has kids, they're getting married, and I could be further from that. So I think that that's why they're saying that.
Who's your favorite boss lady,
Well,
Regina?
I'm gonna have to just step away from the boss lady and go with my guy Jay.
Oh,
Okay.
She loves Jay.
you're a big Jay fan.
Well, you know what? I'm from the Midwest. He played for Chicago. Although they weren't my first team, I'm from Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Always went to Chicago, relatives, watched the games. So he's my guy. But I'll have to say I really like them as a couple. But I want to see him back in the sports arena.
She loves him.
Oh man. Well, at the end of this episode, we got a preview of next week's episode, which showed Jay taking matters into his own hands and going into Uncommon James. So, without further ado, I think we should get into predictions.
Yeah.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
It's a party in here. Obviously, we see that Jay is going to go in and scare the team a little bit and wants to see how the operations are running. Let's start with you, Angel. What are your predictions for next week?
I think that they are going to shape up next week with Jay coming in. I mean, they have to. I think he's not going to be as scary as he was on the previews.
Yeah.
Because everyone's faces was like, oh my God, like they saw a ghost. But they have to get it together. They're having too many issues too early on in the season. So
I think it's smart to do that because they're like, oh wow, like it's not even Kristin that's coming in.
Cutler.
It's her husband that's coming in. Like they're, I think it's a good
Cracking
move.
the whip.
I think it's a good move. And everything's in LA, right? So
No, it's in Nashville.
why do I always think it's in LA?
Well, they do
goes
have a store.
there
They have a
sometimes.
store that's created being put in LA
And
right
this
now, a second
episode
location.
was LA pretty
Yeah, I
much.
think it gives
Palm
like,
Springs.
and I resonate her still to this day with Laguna Beach, California. So it's a hard transition for me to think of her in
And
Nashville.
Nashville is a very,
It's very random for me to see her like that, like so random.
I mean, she is fully adjusted to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think next week we could see some more animal drama. I mean, we know that Jay decided
Oh, yeah, we
to
gotta get the goat back.
put
I
Pepper
love that.
back in the trailer with Pekka, who is Luke and Caroline Bryan's llama.
I hope the goat doesn't get stepped on.
Yeah, I
That
think
goat
like
does. That goat
they
looks like a
bonded.
dog.
No,
to me,
I
the
wanna
way it was
see
running
them.
Acts like a
around.
dog.
Like, I
acts
want
like a
to
dog.
see them and tape them
Yeah.
opening it and finding that. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if they're, I don't think they're going to do that, but I want the reaction of.
they're like, oh, a goat. Okay.
You're right.
I mean, they have
They
so
have-
many
yeah.
animals.
He'll find his way back home.
What do we think? Do we think somebody else is gonna get fired? It looks like somebody's crying in a bar and like storms
Yeah.
out, and Kristen's like, "Big girls don't cry, okay?"
I think it's too soon for someone else to get fired. I think someone's gonna get in trouble and
Yeah.
yelled at because they're horrible at their
I
job.
don't think it's too soon.
You don't think it's too
I
soon?
think when you want to really send a good message, there's got to be a sacrificial lamb somewhere.
Oh.
so
We're bringing it full circle with the
Yes,
with the animals, lambs,
They can
goats,
get it from
llamas.
Caroline and Luke's farm.
yeah, right.
I mean, I kind of agree with both. I think if it was real life, I mean, it is, but if it wasn't
Yeah.
a show, then they'd fire them instantly, but they may be dragging it out to create drama.
Plus,
Yeah.
That's
they
the
can
only
fire
difference.
them and bring them back, like 5 episodes later, right?
But I don't
Season
know if
finale.
anybody else, like, everyone else is a main character. So it seems like if someone gets fired, it's going to be someone we don't really know.
Well, see, the thing is I feel like this show has now shifted, and the main characters are more Kristen's friends and less about Uncommon James members. Whereas last season, literally, it was all about Shannon and Brittany, Reagan, Worth. So we don't even have
Oh,
two
we
of
saw
those.
Worth.
We saw Worth, but like for a
Yeah.
hot second
Yeah.
last week, and he's not on working at
Yeah.
Uncommon James anymore. So I think my prediction for next week is that Jay's gonna come in and just scare people. Kristen said something like, be a bleep hole. So, to all the employees. And I think it's so funny when Jay, because we normally see him all scruffy and with a hat on, comes in looking
Clean-shaven.
sharp, clean shaven, blue blazer, looking like a stud, except his hair is mad greasy and like very long. So, Jay, just please cut your hair. But I think it'll be a good episode. I cannot wait to see where this season goes. Until next week, though, let's talk about where you can find all of us. Regina, where can we find you on social media?
Regina Coles, Instagram.
Woo!
And I'm Angel Saunders on Instagram.
And on Instagram, I'm Justine DiVanna, just my first and last name.
And you can find me, Caroline Thayer, at Caroline J. Thayer on all social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and make sure you come and watch us next week for Season 2, Episode 3 of Very Cavallari. Bye, guys!
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.